Good evening, St. John's. In this unprecedented season, I wanted to take a moment to share with you not only our intents for our gatherings during this season, but also our intent to intentionally thrive at this time. But first of all, I wanted to share with you that this is unprecedented. We haven't walked through a global pandemic before, and so we need to give each other room as we work with kind of the moving targets, the guidelines that we're given, and things like that. That we'll be listening to one another. And I really want to encourage you to view this as a season, winter season, more than a blizzard. I was talking to a couple pastors of churches, and I thought that analogy was fitting. That we should look at it as we prepare in November to enter into a long winter season than the way we prepare on December 5th to enter into a blizzard that's going to last a day or two. This might become a bit of a normal for a while. And I want you to know that it's our intent to follow the CDC guidelines to a T. This is really for us. We want to be people that love our neighbors well. We want to be a part of doing what they're asking us to do to flatten that curve so that less people are being infected with this virus at the same time that we put less of a tax on our healthcare workers that are working really hard at this time. So we're really intentional about following the CDC guidelines to help flatten that curve. Everyone should only go out when it's absolutely necessary, and even less often, and there should be more stringent requirements if you fall into the high-risk categories. We're avoiding all gatherings with 10 people or more, as the CDC has asked us to. And we're also avoiding entering into any home without proper sanitation. With that in mind, at this time, I'm suspending any home or in-person home visits. I won't be visiting people in their homes during this season. For our Sunday gathering, so for the foreseeable future, our gathering will be entirely online. We will stream a Eucharist service, and we will be gathering online. I encourage you to intentionally take part of that. We'll be streaming them live so that you can be a part of that communally. Even with that this challenge that this presents to us, I want to tell you that it's really my heart to see us intentionally thrive at this time. I think there's a couple ways, or three ways really, that we are well positioned to thrive at this time as a church. First, I think that this provides us a new opportunity to intentionally practice the rhythms of the prayer book. Some of you have been joining us for the morning prayer from the daily office. We intend to do that every single day during this season. And I always tell people that if they can enter into this rhythm of morning and evening prayer, if they can do it for 6 weeks or so, that they will fall in love with it. I really do believe that. So I think we have this awesome opportunity to enter into a season where we intentionally practice the rhythms of the daily office, personal devotion, and weekly Eucharist. With the weekly Eucharist in mind, I have the intention of doing something creative to offer the Eucharist to people in drive-up format. I will be setting it up in sanitized way outside of my home and allowing people who would desire to receive the Eucharist in the flesh to drive by and receive it. So I really do believe we have a cool opportunity to enter into those rhythms. In addition, I believe we have an opportunity to develop a regional focus. We need to focus regionally. We're a church of 35 or 40 people spread out over 100 miles. We've needed to do this, and I think we're being forced into an opportunity to think about our region in particular. Some of you guys might know that I've divided us into regional clusters. I ask you to look at those and begin reflecting on how we can focus intentionally on our region. It is also my intent to intentionally reach out at this time. I've asked our Ogden and Layton group to do some brainstorming and do some thinking, and we're going to come together this Monday or Tuesday for us to reflect on ways that we might extend an online gathering or something that we can be intentionally reaching out at this time. Also, we are probably going to head into a time of real economic hardship. And I want us to be people that are reflecting on how we can be of service to others at this time. So I know this is not, look, I didn't vote for this. I didn't desire this situation that we're in. And I know it's a challenge, but I really do believe God's calling us as a church into a season of fruitfulness as we intentionally impact our community during this time. Blessings.